Hey guys, today I just figured I would make another video, and I figured I would just release this before Thanksgiving comes around, And this is about the Steam machine that just recently got announced, and they just dropped the trailer for it. And it's coming out in early 2026. So nobody knows what price point it is. It looks pretty cool for a console, okay? And this is where Reforg Gaming has made a video. It's kind of confusing at first, but like once you understand his point, it's like, okay, I agree with the middle section and the very last section, okay? Because he basically says that it's a threat to Xbox. Could it be? Maybe. I don't really know, okay? And I just feel like it's important to really just clarify, or maybe I can try to clarify about it. I'm not saying that I'm good at it, but like if you watch the rest of my video, it would definitely help, but it just really kind of depends. So I'm just gonna let the video speak for itself, okay? So that's pretty much it, and here you go.
The newly announced Steam machine is a brand new threat for Xbox, but not in the way that you might think. Obviously, the thought would be this is going to get into the market first in 2026 before the Xbox Magnus is available, and it'll solve that problem of letting you have PC gaming in your living room before Xbox even got to market with their new hardware. Now, I don't necessarily think it's a threat to Xbox's hardware goals because I don't really think they have high-ass...
I don't even think there was really a point for you to have a high expectation goals in the first place of what console sells and what works and what don't work. I think it's consumer choice. This is where I can entirely disagree with them at that point, because why should a company expect goals if it's really up to the consumer at that point? So this is where it's kind of like a iffy topic, because we don't know how much consoles are gonna sell for Steam, because it just recently announced, like today, okay? Nobody knows the price point. Nobody knows how much it's gonna be. I hope it's a lot cheaper, and I really do. Better be cheaper than the Steam Deck itself, because that just proved like the handheld industry being like, oh yeah, we didn't need an expectation goal, so you should follow as our example. They tried it, it worked, and players wanting to play up front with with PC, I don't disagree. I feel that should be always an important thing, and backwards compatibility as well. And this is where it's kind of like a good topic that I could talk about. And on top of that too, it's very important to know when this thing's going to come out, because if it is a threat to Xbox, I think it's going to shake up PlayStation and Nintendo, being like, oh shit, we got a new competitor, boys. I think it's about time for the big three to face the fourth, Get it? The fourth may be Wii U. Good pun.
Aspirations or hardware goals. They're simply offering cascade of access points. You can sort of get access to their ecosystem from a variety of points: your smart TV, your tablet, and then this Xbox PC console hybrid. But I will say, this Steam machine can hurt the Magnus, and I'll talk more about that at the end. The real threat, though, the new threat to Xbox and Microsoft, isn't hardware. It's the Steam OS. Xbox previously said in that Sarah Bond video that they want Windows to be the largest gaming platform. Well, a direct threat to that is the Steam OS, especially if you start to see it showing up in other places.
Yes, because Steam has set the standards of what a good software should be, not Microsoft, because you also got to realize Gabe did work for Microsoft, and he basically made his own company and just said, fuck it, I'm going to make Steam, Steam is like their biggest moneymaker, where Steam wins and does nothing. Like, they just sit there and do nothing. Okay? This is where other companies should be like, oh, okay, so basically this guy does nothing, and we're calling him out as a monopoly. And it makes no sense too, which that's another video that I might make later. But I'm saying it as an example. So you're telling me that Windows, a $4 trillion company, wants to compete against Steam, that is basically making Microsoft look bad. It makes no sense. If they wanted to, Steam could just be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna make our own computer or console, which they already announced like just a day ago. So like, I can understand that point of view, I guess.
Steam machine is likely just sort of the first place you really see this established in the living room for consumers that want to game there. There could be other machines in the future that decide to use the Steam OS instead, cutting in on Windows being the largest gaming platform. There could also be other companies that want to make Steam machines. Some of the analysis of the device itself is that it's not going to be that strong. It's sort of going to land in the strength of slightly stronger than a Series S and slightly weaker than a PS5. So you're not necessarily going to be selling this on its performance.
It better be strong on performance, because I'm not gonna lie, if I'm paying like, let's say, $500 for a console, it better be fucking strong, okay? And on top of that too, why would it not be strong if they're using strictly an AMD CPU and GPU? Okay, that logic makes no sense. That's like saying, oh, the PS5 is gonna shit on your computer, dude. Like, dude, just what? It's confusing, okay? And that makes no sense. That it sounds retarded, okay? And Microsoft can't really make money from Windows 11 because it's too expensive, and their console is too expensive. Walmart, Costco, GameStop, even Game Exchange aren't even going to sell it at $800. Even Target ain't going to sell it at $800. Best Buy ain't, because there's no point in buying a console anymore if they're strictly going to PC at this point, because PC is far more better than a plastic box. And it just makes no sense from your standpoint, dude. Like, what? Just Huh?
But then somebody else could walk in the room and say, hey, we've made a Steam machine with the Steam OS, essentially a pre-built, more simplistic PC for the living room, like, I don't know, Asus could do that. Well, that could be in a similar pricing threshold that we've heard about the Xbox Magnus, and if that hits the market before the Magnus, that's another problem for Xbox. So they could be getting hit from all sides here, getting beat in the console fight with PlayStation, getting beat to the market with this PC hybrid by Steam.
Yeah, and the Xbox naming scheme is just really retarded, and the way how they name their projects is just entirely stupid in my opinion. Steam just basically slapped them in the face. Actually, more like flipped the table on them, just be like, yeah, we're just gonna call it the Steam machine, you know? Just as simple as that, not like a retarded ass name. Like, oh yeah, Game Pass Ultimate still Ultimate. Game Pass Core is now Essential. Game Pass Standard is now Premium. I bet their bottom line of their money is hurting them right now due to the fact that it's $30 fucking dollars, okay? And they're not doing so well with that. And they're really looking at it, and games as a service behind a subscription service is just absolutely retarded, especially paying for online. I don't know how they're still getting away with this, especially with PlayStation increased their price of PS Plus, and for a whole year of Nintendo Online, it's like $20 for a whole year, okay? Why can't you just make something like that for Xbox Game Pass? I don't know. And it's just kind of retarded of that part, mostly. So,
within Steam as well. You have games topping sales charts that aren't graphical, impressive games, right? They're not next-gen tour de forces. And then if you look at the hardware trends within Steam, Steam has all that data and all that information. They know where their user base trends. They know where certain games are played. Wouldn't surprise me at all if the Steam machine is built with that in mind. Because for me, that's why I would buy it. I would buy it for the AA's, the indies, the smaller titles that commonly hit Steam.
Okay, this is where it's like an important take, and this is where I would actually agree. The reason why people are actually buying the indie games is because it's a lot cheaper, and Silksong has proven that, Lethal Company has proven that, and a game like Jump Space has proven that. Like, the AAA industry is just not the same anymore. It's more of just, oh yeah, live service, dude, always online and shit. Okay, that's like another big issue that people are having. Like, you can't play games offline anymore, and there's just not a lot of good games that are coming out right now. Like GTA 6 just got delayed. I'll lay that as an example. Fallout 4 just got an anniversary edition, and it's entirely broken. So, yeah, and on top of that too, they pretty much just, I don't know. Steam just pretty much just said, hey, fuck you, we're just gonna make our own console, and we're gonna give the people what they want because we actually give a shit, you know? And that's what Steam does, okay? You may sit here and say, oh, Steam's a monopoly, dude. It really is. They're really not. If anything, they listen to their consumer base and just say, screw it at that point, you know? They just care, unlike these other companies.
Level side of things. Well, that puts it at the lower end here. The Magnus was estimated being $1,200 to $1,500, meaning they're targeting very different audiences, but it does feel like it undercuts Magnus's value point of like, hey, we're going to give you that PC console experience in the living room, and Steam is going to say, well, we got there first. And if you're like me, you may already feel like, well, that solved the problem that I had. I wanted a PC in my living room. This is the solution, and it wasn't that expensive. Based on estimates, it sounds like the Steam machine isn't going to be that expensive. But if there's something you can really, really tell right now that you never would have thought Steam would be the one proving, it's that consoles are clearly not dead.
Nobody's saying that consoles are dead, dude. If anything, it's just, there's just not a lot what you can do with a console compared to a PC. And this is where I can, like, entirely agree, okay, with this. This is why I made that video a little bit longer, to, like, clarify. They're not dead. It's just, it's too fucking boring of playing on a console that you have to pay for online. That's why people are switching to PC. And that's where PC is becoming more of a bigger popular thing. And if that Xbox Magnus, whatever the fuck their name schemes is $1,200, yeah, my ass ain't buying that shit. I'm just gonna stick with my PC that's literally just good as it is. Okay? Why would people pay $1,200 to play their Xbox hybrid PC if you can just buy a PC at that point? Like, you might as well just buy a PC at that point, because no one's gonna pay for online that they're still behind on.
In a gaming context in the living room, and they're getting their hardware out there first as well. So they're kind of attacking this from both ends. The question remains, will Xbox see this as a threat or as just one more way for people to potentially access their ecosystem and games? Because they're getting to market first, and that matters. As far as I can tell, the Steam machine is going to solve a problem that the Magnus aimed to solve. It's going to solve it first and for less money. But those are just my thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can leave a comment below or show up to the live stream to debate this with me. As always, hit like, share, and subscribe.
No, I don't think I will. If anything, I think your take is kind of like retarded. But anyways, fam, that's literally the end of the video. I probably pissed off some Nintendo and PlayStation and Xbox fanboys, dude. Because what's cool is about the Steam machine is that you don't have to pay for online. And what's cool about it, if you look on their Steam page, they literally have cool LEDs that you can change colors on. And on top of that, you can also play all your Steam games on it with a controller. And I just think it's a cool competition. So really, it's not that bad. I mean, Steam literally might be coming back, being like, yeah, what's up, bitches? We're coming back with a new console, and pretty much that's it. We're gonna be in this space. We proved it with the Steam Deck. We don't have no goals. What matters is what we care about, what our consumer cares about. And at the end of the day, I hope it's a very good deal. I'm not gonna lie. I hope it's a very good price point because I would buy it. If it's a very good price point, and on top of that, it runs 60 FPS. Not really 4K, I don't really care about that. But I digress, there's people that do. And it's gonna have different verifications of what works, what don't yet, that kind of cool stuff. And that's what Steam does. Steam actually really cares about what they do for their games. But anyways, I figured I would get this out of the way, make a video about it, and I hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving. I figured I would get this video out of the way for Thanksgiving. And yeah, so like it if you like it, dislike if you don't like it, leave a comments down below, and subscribe if you want more content like this. I plan on making more sooner than probably later, most likely. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the video, hope you like it, and join my Discord, it's free.